Good afternoon, this is Peter Towers. Welcome to this ESS BIZTOOLS webinar for people interested in looking at some alternative services for accountants. Today we're going to be joined by John Cruse, the General Manager of Bookkeeping Central, who's going to talk to you about how bookkeepers can help accountants. So what's happening in the marketplace at present? Things are definitely changing for accountants. Digital disruption is just about us everywhere. And John's going to refer to some of the digital disruption issues with software in his presentation today. But it's happening in a lot of other areas as well. Social media, the internet. These events are also affecting not only accountants, but all of your clients. Standard business reporting. At the ATSA Australian Technology Showcase for Accountants Conference in October 2014, the Second Commissioner of Taxation identified that there were some significant changes about to affect accountants. He referred to a $500 million red tape reduction, which was basically going to be paid for out of a reduction in accountancy fees. Well, this is what the tax officer told the Productivity Commission. The same taxation office was at ATSA 2015, held a few weeks ago in Melbourne. He wasn't as bold in his predictions this year, but he did indicate that standard business reporting was on target, even though it's a little bit behind schedule. So that sometime in the next 12 to 18 months, he believes the shock waves of the $500 million minimum per annum at least change to accountancy fee income will commence. Has your firm developed a strategy for this major event? Some accountancy businesses have. How about yours? Tax returns are going to become more of a commodity product. The price pressures. What's that going to do to your firm? Outsourcing. Outsourcing is now a real issue, not only for accountants, but for a whole range of professions and other businesses. A lot of work is being undertaken in other countries. This has led to a reduction in operating costs for the accountants who have embraced outsourcing. Now, there's no way you can keep this quiet from your clients and pocket the extra money, because in your annual engagement letter to your clients, at the very least, in that letter, I believe you should be disclosing to your clients that you're outsourcing their work to overseas countries. And what this will lead to, and indeed is leading to, is requests from clients for reduction in fees, because they know accountants have saved money. Some accountancy firms are now utilising this lower operating cost infrastructure within their businesses to offer cheaper services in various parts of Australia. If these firms are competing with you, I'm sure they're going to create an unsettling effect in the marketplace. If you're going to stay in primarily the tax return market, how are you going to compete with this? Financial planning. Because of the failures of Storm Financial and other companies, the Australian government has instructed the Australian Security Investment Commission, ASIC, to implement tough policies on financial planners. Now, ASIC's already given a number of extensions to their original deadline when significant changes had to be made. But ASIC is saying there will be no further deadlines from the 30th of June 2016. And in fact, they would like all registrations to be in their hands by the end of March 2016. A number of firms that supply training services for financial planners are indicating that time is just about run out for firms to register their partners and senior accountants for the accreditation courses so that you can take advantage of the grandfather rules that ASIC has introduced. Otherwise, it's back to square one to start the education process to become a registered financial planner. According to Accountants Daily, nowhere near the expected number of accountants have started the process to be accredited as financial planners. So if you're thinking about doing this, it would appear that you need to get going pretty quick. There are a number of organisations offering training courses, including CST, and we will send you details with the recording of this webinar on CST, which is run by Peter Johnson, a long-term accountant in Sydney. But if you're going to do something about financial planning registration, you need to do it now. Now, financial planning is not part of the services that we offer. We're more concerned about encouraging accountants to offer business advisory services, to become the chief financial officer for your clients. But what I would urge you to do is to do something. Either get your house in order for financial planning registration, or really investigate what you're going to do in the tax return market, but understand there is going to be more competition. But what I would really like you to do is to seriously look at embarking on offering business advisory services to your clients. ESS BIZTOOLS can help you. We are in the process of introducing special training programs to, first of all, help accountancy businesses to prepare yourselves for the challenge of offering a whole new stream of services. We're producing 13 webinars for the 13 modules which we have for the preparation for business advisory services, which we suggest you utilize over a 3-month period in weekly 2-hour sessions. And we're also developing webinars for each of the business advisory services within ESS BIZTOOLS. And there's 17 of them and 4 new ones being added each year. ESS BIZTOOLS conducts regular webinars for our members to alert members to the products which we've developed, any new products, any new developments. We also supply regular updates on government grants. Government grants are a great way to show to your clients that you're proactive, and also to introduce your firm, if you're not used to doing business advisory services, into some of the business advisory services work. Because for many of the government grants, accountants can do the work: budgets, cash flow forecasts, key performance indicator analysis, ratio analysis, human resources systems review, some lien management work, debtors review, personal property securities register review as part of a risk management analysis, and many other things. Personal property securities register I just mentioned. This is an area of quicksand for many small, medium enterprises who are completely unaware of the fatal consequences from ignorance of this legislation. And it's not just your stock and your assets and plant and equipment that are at risk under the Personal Property Securities Act regime. It's also the action that liquidators can take in claiming back what they deem under the legislation to be preferential payments. And this can come completely out of left field and be a major shock. But there is a way to get effective protection under the legislation. But how many of your clients know about it? Haven't you got a duty, a responsibility to alert them to that? In fact, you can earn some extra fees, because I believe that accountants should be offering every business in Australia a personal property securities register due diligence review every year to check the effectiveness of the system that your client is operating. Our clients who are using our personal property securities register due diligence system have told me that less than 5% of their clients have got any idea what this legislation is about, and very few of them had adequately protected themselves under the legislation. And we also comment with updates on new products and services that are available and assistance that's available to assist accountants. We recently launched ESS Small Business, which is a separate website. It's been developed in conjunction with a network of businesses, and we believe that we have access to over 500,000 small medium enterprises through the combined databases. And we are offering a fairly unique opportunity to the ESS BIZTOOLS members, accountants and advisors to participate in listings on the ESS Small Business website and to produce webinars that we will display on that site where you can promote your services. And in these webinars, which we run for members and other people interested in our products, we invite experts in other areas to make comments and to advise of the type of services that they have offered. And today, I have pleasure in introducing you to John Cruse, General Manager of Bookkeeping Central. John has been in this business for about 5 years, and he can tell you his story. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type the question into your computer and in webinar jargon, raise your hand, and I will get John to answer the questions later in the webinar. If you think of any questions later on or at some subsequent time when you might be watching this webinar and you want some answers, please send us an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au, and I'll make sure that either John or myself gets back with a reply to you. So I'd now like to introduce you to John Cruse, who will present how bookkeepers can help accountants. So over to you, John.
All right, so just quickly, John Cruse from Bookkeeping Central. I'm also so I run a bookkeeping business. I've been running it for around about 5 years now, and essentially I'm relatively new to the industry and come from outside of it, and I'll talk about that in a second. I also run a business called Practice Heroes International. That's our outsourcing business. So we run an office in Manila that does outsourcing both to ourselves, Bookkeeping Central, but other businesses in the accounting space. And I've recently set up a business called Blacket, which is also run out of Manila, which is focused on marketing. And I've got to say, what I am most definitely is passionate to see both accountants and bookkeepers and small businesses embrace the potential and power of technology and outsourcing to grow their businesses and their practices. I should just say, if you've got any questions that you want to ask at the end, you might just want to put that in your little panel there, and I'm sure that Peter will highlight them to me at the end of the conversation. So, bookkeepers and accountants, what an interesting bunch of people that we have here. And as I say, I'm new to this industry. And when I started in the industry about 5 years ago, I kind of expected bookkeepers and accountants to sort of be hand in glove, partnering to grow each other's businesses. What I found was really different. And really I saw that there's quite a bit of, and I should say this is not completely universal, but I saw it quite often, but quite a bit of mistrust amongst the two. And I don't know whether there's a feeling that people want to take each other's work or what it is that people are concerned about, but it seems to exist. And really I'm an advocate for the opposite. I'm an advocate for accountants and bookkeepers working together, growing each other's practices, and looking to how they can go from strength to strength to build their businesses. So if you look at it from this Venn diagram that I've got here, we can see bookkeepers really they're on the the processing side of things. So data entry, reconciliation, setup, processing, training, and I skipped out integration there, but I think it's a really important aspect of what bookkeepers do, helping businesses integrate their processes, and with cloud technology now we see more and more processes being streamlined and optimized, and I think the bookkeepers have some great skills in this area. Obviously, BASs are done by both accountants. Communication with the ATO done by both accountants and bookkeepers, but communication via the ATO are the same. Accountants, tax compliance and structure are their mainstays, whereas those bottom four of strategy, growth, planning, and value adding, which I'm sure is why you're all part of the ESS network. They're the things that really add value to your business, and I think that the stuff that Peter brings to the table in terms of that is really important. I highlight them because these are the areas that you guys need to be focusing on as accountants. But that is stuff that is going to start moving towards bookkeepers if you guys don't take it, and it's also stuff that is going to be taken up by other parties, consultants, coaches, mentors. So I'd really encourage every accountant that I speak to, hey, you want to become a strategy-focused business. So what can bookkeepers bring to accountants? Well, first, I'm going to go through these very quickly now, and I'll go through them in a little bit more detail throughout my presentation. But processing power, we're really the process resource that an accountant can use to grow their business and to help their clients. Skills and expertise, particularly in cloud and integration, I certainly see from the perspective I have that bookkeepers can really add a lot of value in those areas. Bookkeepers can get and bring additional revenue to accountants. We can certainly arise cost savings for accounting firms. We present the opportunity for better engagement and better relationships with clients. And of course, I'm always doing it. There's always opportunities for referrals to accountants. And my clients want good accountants, and I want to give the accountants that I have good relationships with and also who I think are best fit for my clients, I want to pass those clients across to them. So those are the things where I think, just on the face of it, bookkeepers can help accountants. Processing power. We are such a cheap resource for accountants. Typically, from as little as $25 an hour, probably up to $40 to $50 an hour, total all-up costs, bookkeepers are a bargain. And we provide data entry, reconciliation, all that sort of back-office support things that your clients really need to be happy, and you want happy clients, bookkeepers are very well situated to do. So we're there to do the grunt work. I would say that I believe that that bookkeepers, are extremely skilled and often more adept than accountants at using the basic functions and even the advanced functions of some of these accounting packages. It's not universal. There are some accountants that are awesome at these sort of things, but often I've found that it's the bookkeepers that are introducing these software packages to accounting firms. It's not uncommon for me to have gone to accounting firms, particularly in the last couple of years, and they hadn't used Xero or QuickBooks Online. A bit more now, and clearly that's progressing rapidly as we see the cloud technology taking over. But bookkeepers have a lot of expertise in these areas, and we can be a great resource for accountants. Cloud integration and productivity. For me, this is such a great opportunity for accounting firms to really leverage into their clients' businesses and help them become more productive, find cost savings that the clients don't even know exist. The power of some of these add-ons, not all of them, and you need to make sure you know what you're doing and which ones you're dealing with, but the power of these add-ons is immense. And suddenly, small businesses with a few $100,000 turnover are able to have the type of systems and process automation that could only have once been dreamt about. So, bookkeepers are a really important resource here because we're really into the day-to-day processing. We often know the processes of the clients really well, and we also have great skills in these technologies and putting them in and implementing them and making sure they work. Obviously not all bookkeepers. Some bookkeepers are just data entry clerks, but the higher end, more professional bookkeepers can integrate these systems and give your clients a fantastic experience. And if you're the person instigating it, you become the hero. White label bookkeeping. Part of my thoughts on where bookkeepers can help accountants earn additional revenue. And this one is just so obvious. And I must admit that when I first started getting into the industry, I couldn't really understand why more accounting firms didn't have a bookkeeping service within their business. I see it's coming back a little bit more, and there's a little bit more happening. But obviously the main problem is that bookkeepers, so accountants, see this as a very low margin and quite an expensive operation to run. So don't run it. White label it. Get a bookkeeping firm to come in and provide that service and put a margin on top. It makes perfect sense. You work closely with that bookkeeping firm. Get them to be providing you the data the way that you want it. It means that you get a margin on all your clients' work, so encourage them to. It gives you a reason to encourage them to use the service. You can certainly be working with the sort of quality that you want. You control a lot more of the process, which is fantastic for you, and your clients are happy because this is a service they want. So I think far too often I see these accountants basically encouraging their clients to do it themselves because it's saving them some money, then getting the books back and it's coming back as a mess, and then they have to manage it from there. So why not just look after that whole process from the start and manage it? Now, I'll talk about this a little bit later, but essentially that's one of the services we offer, which has a great potential margin for an accounting firm, and can be highly profitable. integration to cloud-based systems. Now, not all bookkeepers do these sort of integrations, but they're highly valuable. And if you partner with some fantastic accounting bookkeeping firms that are out there, there's a great opportunity to add value to your clients. You know, first of all, there's very few reasons now why your client shouldn't be on a cloud-based system, whether that be MYOB, Xero, QuickBooks Online, or whatever it is. It just makes their lives so much easier. It saves them a lot in terms of infrastructure, and it gives you access to their books at all times. So working with their accounting firms, with their bookkeeping firms, to implement those systems, that's a really great thing you can do. It means you don't have to make an investment in that. The skills already exist, and you can partner with those firms to give you what you need. Inventory management, CRM, marketing, process automation, they're all things that your clients need and want, and are not that expensive to implement. But if you can get some expert teams, and they're usually bookkeepers or bookkeepers who've specialised in this area, why not get into that space? If you understand where your clients' businesses are at, and you can do that now through cloud accounting, then you can add value to your business and business clients. So where I'm coming from here is, if you work with your bookkeepers, make sure that the books are up to date, or always, each month is reconciled, etc. You're not going back and having a look at these clients' accounts, in May when they're due for the previous year. You actually can give them advice as it goes on, and guess what that means? More fees. Hello. Makes total sense to me. Working with clients, getting them meaningful budgets and budget reporting, having those accounts reconciled each month is a fantastic way of adding value to your clients. And every time you add value, that means potential additional fees. Savings for accountants, and how bookkeepers can save costs for accountants. Now, every accountant listening to this webinar will have written off WIP because of poor bookkeeping. If you haven't, it's good on you, well done, but it's very rare to see it. And what ends up happening is the clients go and do their own bookkeeping. There's no control in the system. You get the books back, they're rubbish, or they're messy, or whatever. They have to be fixed. They get fixed in your office. You're meant to charge them out at $120 an hour. You can't. You end up charging out maybe $40 or $50 an hour if you're lucky, and that's if you're, quite often I've heard of much worse stories than that. And all of a sudden, you're just throwing money down the toilet. So if you work with a professional bookkeeper who actually knows what they're doing, who presents you the information in the way that you want it, it saves you both time and money. And there's nothing, it's a complete no-brainer to work with professional bookkeepers who can help you make both those savings, but also add value to your clients. Bookkeepers obviously are also there to make sure your clients have a good experience along their compliance pathway. Nobody wants to see their clients getting hammered by the ATO because they're late on their lodgements, or their lodgements are dodgy, and then they have to get them redone at the end of the year, and audit flags go up all over the shop. So if you get the counts right first time, obviously this is a place where a bookkeeper can help you, then it's going to be fantastic for your clients. And when you've got happy clients, life's good. Bookkeepers have fantastic engagement with their clients. So because we're in our client's face, minimum once a month, but probably more often than that, because we're always talking to our clients, we have a great relationship. It's the sort of relationship that I think that accountants should have with their clients as well. And by engaging both through your bookkeeper and directly with your accountant is a fantastic way to build that client relationship. So it's really important to work proactively with both your clients and your bookkeepers and their bookkeepers to make sure that you enhance that relationship with both parties. As I said before, bookkeepers can undoubtedly get accountants more clients. We want to refer our best clients to really good accountants. So where accountants work cooperatively with us, where they work in a way that we think we're going to get great experience and our clients are going to get a great experience, well, then that's a fantastic win-win for everybody. So, we want to work, bookkeepers definitely want to work cooperatively with accountants. We want to be seen and feel that we're equals. And just certainly I think there's been a bit of that hasn't always been the case. I think it happens more often now. But we also recognise there's stuff that you guys know that we aren't expert in. And so we want constructive feedback. We want to help you to grow your practice. And to do that, we just need constructive feedback, and we certainly don't want to be undermined. When you undermine a bookkeeper, your chances of keeping your client are probably not that great. So work cooperatively with your bookkeepers, and I think you'll find it a great experience. So this is a little bit about me. As I say, I run Bookkeeping Central. We've been around for about 5 years. We've been, we've been early adopters of cloud accounts, and we're very keen, and we really do believe in innovation, automation, and outsourcing. We see that's really the key to successful practice, whether that be in small business, in accounting, and in the business that we run. So that's a little bit about me. There's my details if anybody wants to contact me. And I'll hand it back to Peter, and if there's any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them.
Upcoming events for ESS BIZTOOLS, we have a one-on-one webinar opportunity for all people watching this webinar today. If you believe that you would benefit by having a webinar for your team, your colleagues, please contact us and we're happy to present that. We have these webinars coming up over the next few weeks. On the 17th of November, I'm participating in a webinar for CCH Learning on reducing debtors days. You need to be a subscriber to CCH Learning to participate in that webinar. Please go to their website, cchlearning.com.au, to get details. ESS Biz Grants are presenting webinars on the 16th of November, and the feature that day is on the Industry Skills Fund. And ESS Small Business next webinars on the 10th of November, Getting Social Media Working for Your Business, presented by Tracy Rattari of Townsville Social Media. So if you require any further details from ESS BizTools, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you very much for joining us in this webinar today. Thank you very much to John Cruse for his contribution. And don't forget, if you require any further information, please contact us. Thank you. Goodbye.